Well, maybe we can talk about it when we go live, which we are on our podcast. I think Charles Manson is great, but
Charles Manson's meatballs.
Anytime we can talk about spaghetti, I'm all for it. Welcome to the Sightseeing Podcast once again, folks. We are down at Rostox in Rock Island, Illinois. We'll get, I don't even know the address. The address is somewhere here, but you guys should already know. It's in Rock Island downtown. It's a very neat place. So thanks for hosting us once again. As Nez cops a feel on the mannequin, you'll know what we talk about if you come down.
He lives a lonely life.
We have a couple of fans here or guests here, so thank you for coming. Woo, yeah. So I'm your host, Victor Martinez, as always. Eric Nesbitt to the left of me, a.k.a. Nez. Jake Quake, the pride of Barstow, is with us to the right of me, and directly across from me, the new guy, Matt Wilkins. So, yeah, everybody's here today.
Impressive, I know.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
All right, yes, welcome back, sir. Welcome back. We're glad to have you.
It's good to be back.
Kind of had a little bit of a weird empty seat, but we love you, man. So, I'll just start off. Our guest, Cody Tucker, was supposed to be Cody Tucker, but he has some stuff that he had to take care of tonight, so it was out of our control, out of his. So hopefully we'll get him on some other time and get some words with him. So
we had Red Hot Brian Scott come on.
Yeah, bad hair. Right?
What about that dude with the cowboy hat? We could have had him.
Oh man, we'll get to that in a second. But let me pay Farmer Ted, Farmer Kaz, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Farmer Fuckface.
Let me pay the bills real quick. Poolman Mark Reedy, installation, sales, and service for all your above and in-ground pool.
Attaboy! Got it.
Give the Poolman Mark Reedy a call. Our partners, Rock Island Brewing Company, Bar and Grill, excellent selection of craft beer. We're just there. We'll talk about the great Jack Russell's Great White in just a second. Or did we talk about it? No, we didn't talk about it. It was last week. 1815 2nd Avenue, Rock Island. Ragged Records, great selection of new and used records, all kinds of CDs, discs, even 45s. 8-tracks, man, you go check them out. They got some good stuff. 418 East 2nd Street, Davenport, Iowa. And Next Level Fitness. Reach your next level with dedication, motivation, friendship, and fun. 3102 29th Street, Moline, Illinois. See, I did. Why did I do that? It's terrible. Anyways, we were joined last week with the owner, Albert Myers, which was a great show. And he came out with us the following weekend to go see Jack Russell's Great White, which I will go ahead and say I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed the show. Guys, what do you think?
I thought it was top notch.
Yeah, I thought
Jack, for an 80s hair band, they were spot on.
Mm-hmm. All right. After we get done to that, I want to discuss that for a minute. Your little term.
Hairband, okay. Yeah,
go ahead.
All right, we'll talk about that later. But no,
I'm not the only one that's allowed to get on the soapbox here.
No,
Blake, I mean you can go ahead.
No, I'll wait till we get done talking about this a little bit. Then I'm going to talk about that before we kick into our picks.
Right.
No, I thought Jack's voice was really, really, really amazing.
It's too bad that you used that.
Sorry.
That adjective.
I don't have a dinger.
Ding. No, I do
have a dinger.
For as old as he is, and let's be real, I mean, he's definitely the oldest guy in the band. He's got a bunch of hired guns in his band right now. The drummer only played with them 3 shows at that time.
See, that's one of those things, though, as great as the show is, that's one of my pet peeves, and we've talked about this before. When you go see a band, and you got the guy, the lead singer is 80 goddamn years old, and then everybody else is fucking 30.
Yeah.
It's not, you shouldn't be able to use he should have changed it to like Bull Shark. Or
Hammerhead Shark.
Or Hammerhead, Jack Russell's Hammerhead. Or
we had a discussion with that with a guy on the page about the name thing. You're not going to get shows booked if you're just Jack Russell. It has to be Jack Russell's Great White. Because a
lot of people even know who Jack Russell is.
No, but you put Jack Russell's Great White in there, you're like, oh, well, this guy must be associated somehow.
Right.
But
how old do you think Jack Russell is?
85.
He's got to be 53, 54.
Yeah, he's 54. He's only 54 years old.
But he walks around like he's 70.
Of course, if your ass blew out, you'd walk that way too.
Probably.
Yeah.
That story shared about...
that was intense. And he was in a coma for what?
5 days.
5 days. And
septic shock, yep.
Yeah, they said it told his wife at the time or girlfriend to get his papers ready, like the whole 9, and then he just popped out of it. So
wow,
yeah, man.
And like I said, his voice is top notch. They did their little Led Zeppelin tribute that they always do.
Yep.
Spot on.
Yep.
And he had that Tony Montana guy. That guy actually was in the band
during Once Bitten, right?
Yeah, during the heyday.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool seeing him in there again.
Do you think when Jack Russell passes away, they'll play Mr. Bones as he's going into the ground?
No, they need to play Save Your Love.
Or maybe a combination of both.
Maybe like a melody of
Save Your Bone.
Save Your Bone.
I think we can get behind that. So, but yeah, overall a good time. Make sure you guys check out our interview with Robbie Lochner, the guitarist.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, plug that.
Keep pushing it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
we need to share that one.
You know, we get a plethora of our friends here that are musicians, but one that's actually on the road talking about what's going on is awesome. You know, it's pretty cool. And he was such a nice guy, so glad we had him and had a good time.
And he's also has a Side C Podcast T-shirt.
Oh, he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, we gave him a shirt,
Very
so
nice.
maybe we'll see him like.
He accepted my friend request.
There you go.
Yeah, he was really cool. Like if you listen to the interview, like he's like when he's at home, he's a music teacher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And like he's like some of the kids, like I asked him like, so do any of the kids you teach know like who Great White is? He goes, some of them do, most of them don't.
Yeah.
But like it's pretty cool teaching them because they had like an '80s weekend or where they all had to learn '80s songs and stuff like that. But very accomplished guitar player. His guitar solo. You have all these people running in the back trying to talk to Jack.
Yeah.
I was just like, what are you guys doing? This guy's like playing some classical music on his guitar. It was pretty cool.
Another thing that he gave us some food for thought, that he was one of Rob Halford's lead guitarists on the Rob Halford solo project.
The Halford. Him and, what is that, Metal Mike?
He took somebody's place.
Yeah, it was just a tour. He's like, because he said, he's like, I learned 35 songs in like 2 weeks is what he said, and then he was just on the road.
Yeah.
He was a touring guy.
Yeah.
He worked with Eddie Money.
Yeah, before that, Eddie Money. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got his chops. I mean,
Yeah, he has.
Stand-up guy, man. It was good. It was fun interviewing him. My thing was I didn't really know what to ask him because, you know, you guys date me a little bit, so you guys are like outdate me a little bit, so you knew more what to talk about. But it was a fun interview. He was such a nice guy, and I'm getting the mean looks right now. So.
Well, the thing is that what we didn't want to do with the interview was talk about the past of Great White.
Yeah.
You know, these guys have answered those questions how many times. We just kind of kept it as, what are you doing now? You know, what's been going on in, you know, the present, you know, time, and what's going to happen in the future of the band.
and I really want to look up. I want to go back and listen to it again, and get the name of that band that he was in that was signed before he was in Great White.
It was something like Dirty Jello or Dirty Jelly or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
he said they were signed. They have 2 records out.
I can't remember. I'll have to
What a
listen to
dumb
it again.
fucking name, though.
Dirty
Sorry,
Jello.
I you know.
Well, he's just going.
I don't know if that was the name or not. It was something weird like that.
Yeah, it was a weird name, but
So-
I mean, they were signed and they had the whole gig going. So.
Make sure you guys check out the Side C EP episode 2 for that interview. So we'll repost it and do all that stuff. And geez, you're just having a lot of fun. So what's in the news, guys? Nez, you had one?
I believe it's August 18th. Yes is coming to the Iowa State Fair, which is really strange. I really feel it. Without Chris Squire, without John Anderson, I'm really unsure. I don't even know if Alan White is even the drummer for him anymore. So I don't even know.
Then it's
who's,
not Yes. It's
right. It's Johnny Box of Donuts. Or whatever you want to say.
Jamie Bag of Donuts. It's the same thing. You know, it goes back to the Great White thing. Why would you do that? Why would you have a band? Obviously, it's like Quake said. You want to sell tickets. Okay, you want to sell tickets. But it's live off of what you've done. Your accomplishments. Yes is a fucking accomplished band. Yes is in the annals of rock and roll history is one of the greatest progressive rock bands of all time ever.
Right.
Maybe the first one. I mean, maybe they're like the Prometheus of progressive rock and
I would
of
agree with that,
that genre. And so, why would you play the Iowa State Fair? I mean, really?
The thing is,
What are you going on after the
Right.
pig contest?
right?
The pie eating contest?
I don't even know.
Really?
I don't even can tell you what you know, because Yes has had. Oh, I wouldn't say a lot, but they've had their fair share of turnover in band members. But it was still kind of like, you know, when it was the original Yes, and then the original Yes, you know, it was de facto
Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, Howe.
Anderson, Beaver, Wakeman, Howe, but then it was Chris Squire and Alan White in Yes with Trevor Rabin, you know, that incarnation of it, and then they remember it was Yes Union,
Right.
and then after Yes Union, then it was just Yes again, and then after that, John Anderson got sick, and then he couldn't sing anymore. So then they brought in, I think, Billy Sherwood to take over on vocals, and then John Anderson came back, and now he left again.
And now it's Yes, Future Farmers of America. I mean, really? Come on.
They're on right after the Butter Cows.
Right, yeah, it's like they're going to rope some sheep and then they're going
Well, there was somebody else that's opening up for Yes.
I haven't even looked at the lineup.
I don't know if it was like Foreigner or somebody like
Of
that.
course.
Something,
or Cheap
something
Trick
like,
or something
something
like
Hey, you leave
to that
Cheap
degree.
Trick out of that.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
That's
They
what.
were awesome
That,
last year.
I think that's what hurt Great White sells.
Yeah, Cheap Trick was playing somewhere within an hour from the Great White Show.
Oh, that's why that guy was there.
Right.
Dressed like Rich Nielsen.
Yeah, with the Cheap Trick stuff on, yeah.
that. Okay, but again, where were they playing?
Someplace outside of Chicago, I think they said.
I don't know.
Okay.
I know, but back to we're on the Yes thing though.
Yeah.
That was the news. Yes.
And Cheap Trick's all original members, minus the drummer.
But still, they still play the goddamn fairs. I've seen them at the. I saw them
I was like shocked when I
Last
heard it on
year?
the radio.
Mississippi Valley Fair one
That's
year.
where I saw him. I was mad I wasn't in the front because I could have got a pick. He did that thing with the exploding picks. So, but yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, it's just what you get. I mean, so what do you think people are going to expect? You know, they think they're going to see everybody or kids are going to get tickets. They're going to be, yeah, I'm going to go see Yes, woo.
If we would go up to high school kids that listen to rock now and say, can you name me two of the members of Yes, or do you even know who Yes is? You'd probably get 50% of them who don't even know who Yes is, and probably a less percentage of that can name two members of Yes. So
they might be able to name you one song, which is what the owner of the Lonely Heart song.
maybe they might be able to.
Roundabout.
Yeah, there you go.
Roundabout, yeah.
So, we'll see how that goes for them. I mean, it can either go really good or really bad, and it'll probably just not even make news. So, oh man, Morrissey claims he got groped at San Francisco airport. How do we feel about this, guys? You think he'll write another song about it?
Oh Lord Jesus, really? I mean, he should be happy
That somebody groped him?
that somebody touched him. I mean, it's like you should just be glad that somebody wanted to touch you.
It's the closest thing he's going to get to a hug. So,
Right? I mean, nobody wants his mopey ass all over him anyway.
I already put on a pretty decent show last week at the Civic Opera House.
I like Morrissey. I like the
Sick.
Smiths. I enjoy that stuff, but it's like,
Man.
well, I mean, he's like, yes, they touched me inappropriately. It's like, so?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, oh, good Lord. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And looking like this is either the Smith stuff and Morrissey stuff. Either the songs are like fantastic, or they are bad.
You know, I was
There's no in
thinking,
between. That song's alright. There's no song that's
No.
okay.
I agree.
I was definitely thinking about checking up one of their albums for this show, but we'll get to that when I get
I think
to
the
it.
last decent song he did was that English Blood Irish Heart song.
That song is
That's a good song.
That is a good song.
awesome. The whole record's good. You are the
Yeah.
Quarry. That whole album's good.
I really thought that when he went solo and he didn't have Johnny Marr with him anymore, that it was just going to be total garbage, but it really wasn't.
Yeah,
And now Johnny Marr does his own stuff too, right? He does.
that's what I heard.
Yeah,
He
and then
was
Johnny
up in
Marr was
Chicago.
into electronic with Bernard Sumner.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, you're right, Wilkins. He should be happy that he was touched. So we'll see what his next venture is post him getting groped and touched by the. They said it was like the director of the security or whatever. So that was kind of
So
funny.
the director of security touched him?
Yeah, something.
Okay,
like that.
stupid ass. That's a frisk. I mean, really? It's like this guy came up with a badge and he
He
touched
probably
me.
did this to him. Hey, can we get checked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call
his
Wilkins.
legs. He's probably an RN.
There's man measuring his inseam.
Yeah, right?
New guy, you said something about Guns N' Roses?
Yes, DJ Ashba. Okay, no offense, Quake, but who really gives a damn? Until they get back together with the original members, Guns N' Roses doesn't fucking matter.
I disagree.
No, I don't. I don't disagree. I am totally right on this. This is not something that's up for discussion.
I disagree.
What have they done besides a whole lot of nothing? Really,
I'm just telling
honestly.
you the incarnation that Jake and I saw with Buckethead and Robin Fink on guitar, and then Tommy Stinson on bass,
And Richard Fortas.
yeah, Richard Fortas, and then you had Brain on drums. That was kind of like a once in a lifetime type lineup there. That's just me. So
Really, again, this goes back to what we just got done fucking.
Don't call it Guns N'
about.
Roses.
It's
Right.
not Guns N' Roses.
But what we
it's
saw,
bums and posers is what it is.
I wouldn't call it bums, and I wouldn't call it posers.
democracy.
I would call it something else. Don't
Right.
call it Guns N' Roses. But that was a badass.
Axles.
Buckethead playing with Guns N' Roses is like if Les Claypool would have signed with Metallica. Because he auditioned for Metallica
Right.
when
Yeah.
Cliff Burton died.
Yeah.
It would have been the same kind of thing. It's come on.
It was odd. 'Cause
It's not-
It wasn't
it's-
dangerous or anything like it was like in
No, it's
87,
just,
but, I
it's
mean,
just dumb. I'm sorry.
it was definitely the hired guns.
I
If
looked at
Axl Rose trying to put together this outlandish group of musicians so they could say, hey, look at us, Guns N' Roses has this outlandish group of musicians. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
bullshit.
You're right. It's not the same thing. But man, what
It
he
was
put
a great
together
show.
was
It was a great show.
freakishly good. I mean, let's just be bluntly honest here. That the musicians that he had hired to be that incarnation of Guns N' Roses were probably better musicians than what the original Guns N' Roses were, as far as musician for musician.
But that's not the point.
I'm,
That's not the point of a band or a group or something like that. When you have Appetite for Destruction, and you look at what it is as a whole, okay,
You're
that
right.
was lightning in a bottle. What they had there was something organically badass. It was just something that mattered.
I
It was
agree.
something that happened organically that was sonic. Then you take these turd balls from all over the world and put them together, and you expected, okay, we're Guns N' Roses. No, you're not Guns N' Roses.
that's why I say you're right when you say don't
you
call
know,
it Guns N' Roses.
You're Axl
Well, I mean-
Rose's traveling sideshow is what you are.
Well, the only thing close to that on the other side of the spectrum would have been Velvet Revolver. They didn't like. Well, I guess I can't use Guns N' Roses. They can't use that name, so they had.
They could have had Duff McKagan's Guns N' Roses.
You're
Because with what Jack Russell does,
right,
it could have been that.
right,
But no,
right.
they did something on their own. Imagine that. It's like Mad Season, or it's on all
Right.
these other kinds of things.
Oh.
Do something of your own.
I agree with you 100%, but I'm telling you what we saw that night. And it shouldn't have been called Guns N' Roses, but
No.
what we saw.
It was like the greatest Guns N' Roses tribute act of all time.
Oh,
Fair
Yo.
enough. Fair enough.
decent.
Okay.
With
So,
but at the
how-
same
but-
time,
but at the same
you're staring down at Tommy Simpson playing bass in the Mark.
Right.
Yeah,
You know.
how often can you say that?
Because if you want to go
Never.
like battle of the musicians, and we get a group of people in here that know their rock and roll or whatever, and musicians, you say, okay, do you want Brain on drums in your band, or do you want Steven Adler on drums in your band? Probably majority of people are going to say we want Brain.
okay, but
That's what I was saying. You know.
but when you look at it that way, then you're going against what I was just saying.
Sorry.
Okay, when you have a group of guys that come together organically and they fuse something sonic, like what Guns N' Roses did, I don't give a goddamn if you take Neil Peart and put him with Guns N' Roses. It's not the same thing.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So that's my point. That's exactly my point. I'm, to call it Guns, it just does to me.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It tarnishes the name.
You know, and to put DJ Asheville left Guns N' Roses, who cares? Until Slash is playing with Guns N' Roses again, I don't give a damn. Or Duff McKagan,
Duff McKagan's playing
Izzy
with them.
Stradlin,
Izzy's playing with them.
playing with them all the time.
Which leads to what?
But what if
Jake-
Izzy Stradlin's not playing with him, but they got Gilby Clark instead? Does that still?
Gilby Clark will never do that again.
Would that be still considered Guns N' Roses? Or
No,
No.
I didn't consider it Guns N' Roses. I mean,
No, Izzy was the secret weapon in Guns N' Roses.
he was.
If you look at all the lyrics and the music, Slash was like, I compare Slash to like Angus, because Malcolm was a better guitar player than Angus by far, but he was shy. He liked to be back in the corner, so he let
And
Angus.
Angus
do-
wanted to jump around
Right,
and
and look-
spin
yeah.
in circles
Yeah,
and do all
exactly.
that shit.
So Angus got that. But so Angus is Angus. Slash had the top hat, the hair, just the guitar solos,
Cigarette.
the cigarette, the whole nine. So Slash brought the front. Izzy just hung out in the back, but he wrote all the killer tunes. You know, lyrics and melody. I mean, that was like, him and Axl bounced off each other, but a lot of those really good songs, especially off of Appetite, was Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really knew about that. Even Tracy Guns did an interview, and that's what we talk about. He's like, when I was playing with him, Izzy wrote all the main stuff for Appetite, and Slash just came in and put his guitar solo over. I mean, it's not taking anything away from Slash at all, but Izzy was, think about it, Guns N' Roses didn't write one original song after Izzy left, except for Chinese Democracy. Then, because he left her in the middle of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, the tour. They never wrote another original song.
So it leads us to, well, it leads you to believe that a reunion is possible, or is it just what you want?
Well, obviously it's what I want.
A lot of people want.
But I think somebody somewhere is sitting on a fat pile of cash and is going to start tempting them.
Like they did with Led Zeppelin when they turned down $800 million, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
The dude from Virgin Records, yeah.
Yeah. It was
Offered
ridiculous
him-
amount.
Offered him like, I
800
think he offered him like Jamaica
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, but everybody said they'd do it. Just recently, Slash said, like, yeah, I'm up for it if we can all get in a room together. Izzy's played with Axl. Duff did a tour with Axl because Tommy was doing the replacement stuff.
Is this with Sorum or Adler?
I think they'd both be up for it. Steven would do it tomorrow.
But I mean, that's the question though.
For me?
Is it going to be Sorum on drums or is it going to be Adler?
If Adler is actually clean and stays clean, it'd be Adler. Because
That's what I would like to see.
Adler played, he recorded Civil War, but a lot of his tracks on Usual Illusion 1 and 2 were written before Appetite, so he knows the songs. Very few of those songs were recorded during, were written in the studio. Most of the stuff was already done. So.
well, I think you'll probably keep an ear on that and make sure we know what the news is.
Are we longer than last week on the news?
I don't even remember what we were on.
Last week.
It's good
Sorry,
when we
So
have
we start getting into these
healthy,
debates.
healthy discussions.
Well, that's what it's about. I mean, and I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it.
That's exactly what it is, man. The Library of Forgotten Rock and Roll, which I will dive right into it because my album kind of it's a weird album because I think I remember this, Nez, when you first started the group, Linkin Park was around like one of the center subjects, and I can't remember who got it. Like a bunch of people got in on it back when we were just
that's when it first started.
baby.
Yeah.
So
Yes, yep.
and I remember I did see some again healthy discussion about it. So I went with Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, their first album, and the reason I went with it is because I was cleaning the other day, and all of a sudden, for some reason, a couple of the tracks from the album, it was all on shuffle, but a couple of the tracks from the album played back to back. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this album a listen again, and then I went and listened to the whole thing, and I forgot how enjoyable it was to me, just because there was it started off really solid with Paper Cut, which is probably one of my favorite. Actually, A Place for Your Head is my favorite one, but Paper Cut was awesome too. But it you just got right in it, and here this is what I'm gonna ask. They were classified as nu metal. Would you guys agree with that?
No.
No.
I call
Rap rock?
it was pop metal.
Pop metal then?
Yeah, it was very bubblegum.
But it had. You could do nu metal / pop, I think.
Yeah.
Because it had like a little bit hip hop element.
Yeah. They had the DJ, right?
Yeah, DJ.
They had the
Han.
turntables going on.
Yeah.
So that adds a little bit to it right there off the bat.
Yeah.
There were one band I just, for the life of me, couldn't get into them.
Really?
And this is probably the first one we've ever done between all of us. I can't really.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. I don't say I hate them or anything like that. It's just not my cup of tea. I do like Chester's vocals.
Well, here's a shocker. I fucking love Linkin Park.
Do you really?
Oh, all right.
I do. I don't know what it is. There's something about them. There was an originality to them that I enjoyed.
Because it was catchy.
It was catchy. They had
It
great
is
songs.
catchy.
Yeah.
It is catchy.
I think sometimes Chester Bennington needed a hug with some of his lyrics.
Yeah,
some of the stuff that he wrote.
It's true.
It's like somebody should have maybe let him have some Hot Wheels when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the music. Ultimately, I did enjoy it. It was one of those things where I was I was older than most of the fans of Linkin Park.
Oh, yeah.
But I enjoyed it musically. Would I say they did anything groundbreaking? No.
No.
Would I say it was one of those things that I would seek out to hear? And one of those days I'm having a bad day. Am I going to go throw on Linkin Park? No. But if it's on the radio, I will turn that shit all the way up.
Here's what I'm going to interject in this one. It just seems like they kind of capitalized on. Remember when in the early '90s when the rap and the metal crossover was going on? They just kind of took that a step further and made it very poppy. And it was very catchy.
Well, it was like them and 311 was another one that was very similar to that. Not as produced as Linkin Park, but similar.
I see 311. Weren't they more like towards that like?
They were a reggae. They were
reggae-ish. They had all of those elements.
More like a Sublime type band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Take Sublime, take a little bit of hip hop to it, and rock infusion, and infuse it all, and then you have 311.
Right. Those are what called shit.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I'm not going to go out and buy anything.
I don't care. I don't mind them. Like, there's a few songs, but as far as Hybrid Theory was concerned, man, like, you know, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, this is a cool new thing, blah, blah, blah. You know, forwarding now, it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't the greatest stuff that I had the choice to listen to, but I still enjoy it. Like I said, I went through and I rediscovered, you know, why I enjoyed the album, you know, because I was able to kind of appreciate it a little bit more now, obviously. So, and that's why I asked about the new metal thing, because I wasn't too sure what other people were thinking. Some of them were like, they're just rap rock and blah blah blah. I was like, I get the hip hop.
It was more than that.
The new metal thing, I really felt like new metal fell into the category of like the Korns. The Korn, the Soulfly, that type of stuff.
Well,
because Soulfly was like a hybrid off of Sepultura. They took it to a different type of sound.
Soulfly, I'm gonna fight you on that because Soulfly to me is like that's in my soul, man. I listen to that shit and I go fucking bananas every time I hear it. There is something we went to see. Me and a good buddy of mine.
Does it make your soul fly?
It does. It makes me. I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. Anyone in this room, including the gentleman over here playing on his telephone, if you'd have been...
You say telephone?
It is a telephone.
Whatever makes you happy, man.
Shut up, man. Okay. But we went to see Soulfly in St. Louis. This is 400 years ago when they first started out. And they came out and they started playing, and Max Cavalera came out and looked at the group, and he's just doing his thing. His dreads are all down in his face. And he looks up and he says, "Let's go, Tribe," and the place blew up. Old Mississippi Nights in St. Louis, Missouri. That fucking roof blew off, and it's one of those spiritual things that you cannot get with some of these bands. So,
but I'm just saying, it's like,
but there's no. I wouldn't say there's any kind of a hip hop crossover, any kind of that stuff.
No. I agree with you 100%. But Soulfly kind of took off during that was they were building up during that whole new metal type thing.
I think Soulfly is nowhere near new metal. I think what Soulfly did was they took the roots of Brazilian music and they took that and they incorporated it into Sepultura, which is what they've done. And I hate when I say this, I sound like Alex Trebek every time I say it. But yeah, I mean, when you take Sepultura and you put the Brazilian music with it, oh my God, it was sonic. I saw Sepultura and Soulfly in the same summer one time, and it was amazing.
And you're still
ring the bell.
I mean, your mind didn't blow, so. But yeah, man. I mean, the easy pick for me. I mean, I was actually thinking about going with it's the band I was Stuck Mojo, but I was like, I'm gonna go with something I knew a little bit more of, and I got to see them on tour. Their energy live is pretty cool, but I don't know. It was more when DJ Han did the spin the tables and had this whole little 20-minute segment thing.
Well, then how would you guys compare Linkin Park? How would you compare them to? I just had it on the top of my head, and now I forgot the name of the band. And I guess Incubus. How would you compare those two?
Very similar.
Really?
I would consider them in the same vein. It's the same kind of a thing. I think that when you go to your bins at Co-op Tapes and Records, you'd find them in the same bin. I mean, without a doubt. I don't think that's... for me, Incubus was a little more melodic than Linkin Park. I think there was more...
they were softer.
They were a little softer.
Yeah,
they were a little more... a little more about the reefer than Linkin Park. But nonetheless, I mean, they were still a cool band too. I mean, they were.
What was that one album that had that Megalomaniac? That's kind of when they picked up their sound a little bit.
Well, I'm sorry. When
Carl Luther Murder?
Yeah.
when the dude's like, amber is the color of your energy.
That's 311, brother.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, that's
all right. Right on. Then I
Well,
screwed up. But still, it was
Incubus,
311.
in their foundations of what they were there, they were a speed metal band. When
Really?
they first started out, Incubus, their early albums, they were very hard. They were very aggressive.
Like, this is a little off topic. I went to Goodwill yesterday. Found one of the first Goo Goo Dolls albums.
Oh yeah.
On Metal Blade
They're
Records.
punk.
Yeah, dude. So good.
Yeah,
So good.
The Goo Goo Dolls were badass.
Yeah.
And then they started. I don't know.
Then they found
signed
money.
with a big label.
Yeah, they found money.
Yeah, and they found
Their
what the
bass
money
player
was.
is a great singer on the first couple records.
That's like, dude, that's like Maroon 5. Maroon 5 has not made one album that sounds like another album they've ever done. If you listen to every one of their albums, they're chasing trends. They are so much about what can we sell this week that is we have a thing about the Beatles, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, you listen to one album, okay, and it's not too bad. It's kind of bluesy, kind of not too bad. The very next album is like, oh my god, what are you doing? And then you hear it again, and then they're with Christina Aguilera,
Right.
and then it's like, how
Back
can
to
you take them seriously as musicians? They're good musicians, but how can you take them seriously? Then you see the dude talking about, well, I had pimples, so I used Proactive. Who cares about your goddamn pimples? Write a good song.
Yes.
back to the Linkin Park thing. The most provoking thing of all this is that when Chester Bennington went over to the Stone Temple Pilots and became Chester Bennington and the Stone Temple Pilots.
There you go.
How wrong is this? Once again.
Again,
And now,
Stone Temple Pilots.
now they've taken Chester Bennington's name out of it. Now it's
Yeah,
back
so
to being
it's
Stone Temple Pilots,
yeah.
and Chester Bennington is fronting them.
Yeah.
And which
bullshit.
Yep.
The DeLeo brothers shouldn't have done that. I mean,
They
it's
should
like,
have.
didn't they have a band that was then?
It's a talk show.
Yes, thank you.
And it was Stone Temple Pilots material. And when Weiland couldn't stay clean, he was in rehab. They said, "We're getting a different lead singer. We're going to call us to something else," because it was all Stone Temple Pilots material that
Yeah.
it was going to be for the next album. That album was pretty tough.
Yeah, good album.
Yep.
There was another band when Sully from Godsmack like had a big writing block. The lead singer from Ugly Kid Joe
That's
joined them
right.
called Another Animal. Great record. Sounds nothing like either of the other two bands.
We're so far off topic, right?
Oh yeah, we're going way off. But no, it just made me think of that because it's a really good record and
It's the Schlitz, my brother.
There you go. Well, Craig, I mean, since you're going, why not? We don't want to kill your steam here. So
Yeah.
what do you got for
choo
us
choo.
this time, man?
Somebody brought their homework
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
That I brought?
because
because I brought it for
yeah,
them.
you brought it.
I love how I put it on pink paper too. Breast cancer awareness.
Everything
bitches.
in the world is
Too
pink
much.
is great. I'm doing the least liked Guns N' Roses record.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So,
Covers.
Well, why?
Yeah,
it's a
why-
covers
Oh,
album.
that's
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
You
why
should have just
Yeah.
called it cash grab.
cash grab?
Well,
there's
Cash
another
Cab.
filler, just like GNR Lives was.
well, actually, okay. So there's actually a lot of fun information about this one. First off, we'll go with the title because it's really stupid. It's called The Spaghetti Incident, obviously.
Because it was supposed to be punk rock covers, correct?
Makes me
Yep. But
makes me hungry.
the reason, where this title came from is in '93 when Adler was in court with Guns N' Roses, suing the band for royalties and cash and stuff like that. Because Guns N' Roses wasn't one of those bands where like sink or swim together. It's like if you wrote part of it, you got credit. If you didn't, you got nothing. Steven Adler never wrote a lick of anything. He just played on the record. So they were in court. He was trying to get more money, and so because he was like having seizures and shit. But so the lawyer had all this information, like trying to like
At
make
least his
Gun-
ass didn't explode.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jack. I mean, but
We
hey,
don't know that.
Well, we don't know that.
yeah, you're right. Who knows?
I mean, why would you want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah,
In a concert.
Yeah,
in
every
Rock
night on
Island.
stage.
It's called therapy.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Free therapy.
So the lawyer's getting all this information together, trying to like make the rest of the GNR look bad, and Adler's up, doing his testimony or whatever, and he's like, "Well, this one time, Duff stole my leftover spaghetti out of the refrigerator, and it was labeled in the court papers as the spaghetti incident.
Oh wow!
So that's where the title comes from.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's
It's very
that.
punk rock.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my thing. Before you go any further,
Okay.
I'd beat a motherfucker ass for taking my spaghetti.
I
It
got
depends on who made it. I mean, if it was my mom's spaghetti, I'd kill those two guys walking down the street right now with my mom's spaghetti.
There are two guys walking down the street.
There are two guys right now.
We're looking outside of the window of Rod Stocks in downtown Rock Island.
I'd kill them both for my mom's spaghetti. That ain't no lie.
It was Chicago spaghetti.
Oh.
Because when they were recording Usual
mom's
Illusion 1
is
and
still
2,
better, though.
they recorded above the Metro in the Smart Bar.
okay.
That's where most of that stuff was rehearsed and recorded.
So very day trotterish like.
Very. There you go.
Oh,
Game.
Getty incidents.
Yeah.
I had my roommates fought over grapes. Does that count?
The
That's
grape
a grape
incident.
incident.
Hey, look, they're whistling at us. What are they doing? Do they want to talk?
Yeah.
Do they want to come on?
No, we don't have any drugs. Sir.
I heard of two guys. A friend of mine told me when he was in the Marines, two Marines fought over a box of wheat thins.
Oh, hey, that's like
Good
gold
shit,
though,
though.
right? If you're on
Weakness
tour.
is good stuff, though.
But anyway, so it's spaghetti incident.
Okay, and so then on the cover, you can't see it on this, or else I'd pass it around. But when I was little, I didn't know what the hell it was. There was like this little I thought it was a barcode on the bottom, but it's just a bunch of little symbols.
Yeah.
And later in life, had a sick obsession for a while with serial killers. I had to read about them and find out stuff.
Frightening, but not surprising.
There you go. But I was reading the Zodiac book.
Oh yeah.
It's a Zodiac message written out, and it says "fuck them all,"
Oh.
but it's really small. But it's on there. I just thought it was a barcode when I was little, because make you guys feel old. When this came out, I was only like 7 years old.
You could fuck yourself.
But this record did wonders for me for being that young, because I got to find all these original songs. Because that's how I found out.
I hope you did. I hope you went back and found all the original songs and didn't rely on this shit.
So
This dribble.
the Spaghetti Incident was actually supposed to be a Use Your Illusion 3.
I thought it was supposed to be just based on that was a filler album for their punk rock covers they wanted to do.
It was supposed to be Use Your Illusion 3.
You have some long ass fingers, you know that?
Yeah, I do.
That is a strange thing to point
Wow.
out. Maybe spaghetti-like fingers.
Yeah.
There you go. Please don't do that again.
We call him Jake Quick Spaghetti Fingers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's an indicator.
Spaghetti fingers.
Pride of Barstow spaghetti.
Him and Jimmy Bag of Donuts. Hey, Spaghetti Fingers. It's Jimmy Bag of Donuts over
Jimmy
here.
Bag of Donuts, spaghetti fingers, and now ours will come to us
Eventually.
eventually.
So the whole album was supposed to. The Spaghetti Incident was supposed to use Illusion 3. And it was supposed to have Live and Let Die, Knock Us on Heaven's Door. All that stuff was supposed to be on there. But they took out those two and put them on proper, and they saved the rest of them. Because Izzy was actually on this whole album. But they deleted all of his stuff and put Gilby on when Gilby joined. And re-recorded it all. So, there's that. And then, hold on, let's see. More information.
I'm curious. I don't even know what's on the album.
There's actually some good tracks.
Well, like Hair of the Dog and
Hair to Dog.
There are no good tracks.
Oh, no, that's kind of bullshit. There are some
It's
good
all
stuff.
turds. It's turds.
Did they record something from the Vandals on there or the Damned or something like that?
The Damned Vandals.
No, they recorded Fear.
Maybe that was it.
But, let's see. They did stuff with Hanoi Rocks. They did stuff with Michael Monroe, actually.
Which one was that?
Ain't It Fun?
Oh.
Which is a killer track.
Because when they did Dead Jail and Rock and Roll with Axl and
That's on the Michael Monroe
Michael
solo.
Monroe
Yeah.
solo stuff,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fucking, that's sonic. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to retract my original statement of calling it all turds,
Yeah.
but now
But
I
that-
re-interact. Yeah, it's all turds.
All right.
But the first single released was like this 1950s slow tune called "Since I Don't Have You," and that pissed everybody off. That was Axl's pick for the single, so of course, that's what happened.
Yep.
Well,
They wanted "Ain't It Fun," which probably would have done better. Maybe.
It just seemed like that when they released that thing, everybody was kind of like,
It's the album that you find in the bargain bins.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, it was such a deflation.
Like
Yeah.
cool, Guns N' Roses. Oh,
Well, I remember I heard the Fear cover,
Yeah, I don't care.
and
about
I'm
you.
like, you got to be kidding me, because Fear is one of those bands that if you're gonna do it, you pay homage properly. If you don't fucking do it, because Fear is punk rock guy, if you mention the band Fear, they're gonna say you either do it right or you don't goddamn do it.
Right.
And Guns N' Roses, come on, ring the fucking bell.
So some of the single was the single was from a band called the Skyliners.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly the song.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Beautiful love song. They didn't do a bad job on the song,
It should have been a single.
but no, it shouldn't have been a single.
They did do the Damn. They did cover New Rose with Duff on vocals, which
Right.
was surprising.
Well, here's the thing. When you use Duff on the punk covers, that's exactly what they should have done because Axl doesn't have the chops for that.
Duff should have sang "It's So Easy," honestly.
Mm-hmm.
There's
fair enough.
There's videos of him singing "It's So Easy," and it sounds so much better.
There it
That's
is.
back.
Impressive.
They covered the UK Subs, "Down on the Farm."
Crap.
Oh, good song. They covered the New York Dolls,
Crap.
the Stooges.
Crap.
Well,
Ain't
if-
Fun.
The originals are
right,
Sonic.
right.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
covers.
Yeah.
Crap.
They
Their
covered.
cover.
They covered the Dead Boys,
Crap.
T-Rex,
Crap.
Nazareth,
Crap.
Misfits with Duff on vocals,
Not so bad.
the Professionals, which is half of the Sex Pistols.
Crap.
Uh,
I know I'm totally Jack Crispian you right now.
no.
But
Jacrispian.
I'm like,
They did.
that'll be in the Urban Dictionary before you know
I don't
it.
even know that. I don't even know who that guy is.
Right.
Oh, Christian.
Never seen him before in the group at all.
You know, I can't go to
He's
Steel
got a
Plasma
mind.
anymore because that's where he's a phlebotomist. I'm afraid he's gonna like fuck up my arm if I ever go there again.
You know what's fucking bullshit?
That's-
I got fucking Avenged Sevenfold on that goddamn. What band are you?
Oh,
I was like, I'm already depressed. Did I need to see this?
Yeah.
Did I really need to be Avenged Sevenfold?
Retake it and just change a couple questions.
No
You'll still
shit.
get it. You'll still get it.
No shit, I'll still come back that and then I'll throw myself off the bridge.
And then
Right there with you, man.
they covered a Johnny Thunders tune with Duff on vocals again. And the last song they did on there was what got them in a bunch of trouble. They covered a Charles Manson tune,
What?
which is really good. It's called "Look at Your Game Girl." And actually, Charles Manson is a hell of a songwriter.
I'm sure
You
you
can
thought
find
it.
it.
That
You can,
Beach Boys song. he
yeah,
wrote.
yeah. You
You
can
wrote a
find,
Beach Boys song?
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Fuck.
What, it's
can't remember.
Good Vibrations.
What? That song Charles Manson wrote?
You gotta keep those love good vibrations. Yeah, that's one.
Oh.
He co-wrote that song.
Holy shit.
Truth.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
if you can actually buy his CDs. He's got like 2 or 3 CDs you can buy.
I'll just write him and ask him for him, so we'll see what happens.
Ask his wife, his 19-year-old wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird.
you might have to carve a swastika on your forehead before you give me one though.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
No, never mind. I was gonna say it's.
There can't be
cool.
no Latino guys running around with swastikas on their forehead. Just saying.
But,
We're already getting enough attention, so
so yeah, that's fine.
He's like, 'cause we're everywhere.
awesome. So,
It had a lot of cool information.
do you own it?
Fuck, come on now. Of course I do.
Okay, all right. I was just saying.
I mean, he could be like Nez and have the version that actually has spaghetti on it.
With meatballs.
Yeah.
He's like, I got it from China. It's Chinese imported.
Well, I get all
It's
the
got the
Chinese
V card
imports.
on it.
Oh yeah, they got bonus tracks on.
He's like, I got mine from Romania.
If you put the
I
meatball,
don't think I own anything from Romania.
You know,
I might.
I own one.
I might.
I'm
It,
sure
it, it, it was on accident. It was just whatever the dude sent me. I was like, made in fucking Romania. It's like, what am I gonna do with this?
listen to it in Romania.
Yeah.
See, that's so awesome being a collector, and you don't believe this or not, but you know, like me and Victor had this argument before because you know I got rid of all my comic books and everything because like I don't want to bend it up or anything, but at least with albums and CDs, I can read the liner notes and then I can listen to it and read it and listen to it at the same time, and that's what's so awesome about collecting music is that you have the literature part of it, and you have the audio part of it.
If you wanted to be crazy like I am, I wouldn't even read the liner notes, or I would get another copy of it. Just
Well, yeah,
so I
with,
wouldn't
with
touch
comic
it.
books,
Sometimes
you
I
buy
don't.
you buy 2 copies.
I do.
Depending on what you're buying. I mean, if you're buying a storyline to read it, you buy 2 copies. You put one copy back, you read 1 copy. If you're buying like a Fantastic Four number 3, you already know what's inside. You're not buying that for the reading of it.
Correct.
You know.
You
Okay,
can read those in
let me
collections.
press rewind on that. A lot of the liner notes I don't read because I'm afraid of nicking up the sides of
Thank
the
you.
book.
There you go. It would annoy the piss out of me. Even a fingerprint would annoy the piss out of me.
So I don't read all my liner notes, especially my rare stuff. But
like
Those are the ones I read like most, especially like when they're like, so like they're.
I look them up on the internet and look.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they do.
I Google it,
Scan
and
it.
then I read what they put on the internet about it, so I don't
Yeah.
have to open up the book and slide it out of the jewel case.
And here, and with kind of what you're saying, Nez, I remember when we met 30 Seconds to Mars, I was such an asshole about the liner notes, because they're like, just have the notes out ready, they'll sign them if you just go quick. So I didn't even touch it. I slid it out, I had a towel on my arm, and I slid it out, and I put it back on top via the towel, and I just had it there, and I was like, and then they just go on and fucking grab it like, yeah, here you go. I was like, thanks, and I was like, okay, well at least it has Jared Leto's fingerprint on it. So, but I didn't even touch it afterwards. So, sorry, yes, but because that'll be used in here in a second. But anyways, yeah, collecting about that is different stuff. So.
Manhandling my shit.
Yeah. Hey, explain what I manhandled, because I did not manhandle that. So, this
Oh,
is
not
a
my
paper.
business. No.
I manhandled your pick of the week here, Wilkins.
It's my turn.
Yes, it is
All
your
right.
turn, because you're going with the same one that you had
Yes,
originally.
I had originally meant to do this pick last week, but my beloved grandmother passed away, and so I had to miss last week.
Sure.
Thank you guys very
Glad
much
you're
for
back.
your understanding. Glad to be back. My pick is Nothing Faced by Voivod. This album, if you haven't heard it, Voivod, their early stuff is, to say it's avant-garde is not doing it any justice. It is something so completely and totally out there. When you listen to this album specifically, it's like nothing that came out. It was released in 1989, and at the time, you think of all the bands that were big in 1989, and for metal kids, this wasn't one of those bands that was on the radar until they did a video for the Syd Barrett song from Pink Floyd, Astronomy Domini. When they put that on Headbangers Ball, and my brother Aaron Wilkins and I saw that on Headbangers Ball, we were like, holy shit. This is this is amazingly cool.
Ding.
Fuck off. This is like the cool stuff. And so then we went out and bought this album. And then if you listen, there it is. If you listen to this album, the songs that they wrote are complementary to Astronomy Domini in the orchestration. A lot of it's funny because they mentioned that this album, the riffs were influenced by Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. And if you listen to it, you can actually, if you are familiar with The Rite of Spring by Stravinsky, you can actually hear some of that. It makes complete sense. But it was so far, and this is another one of those bands that eventually Jason Newsted joined after leaving Metallica, joined Voivod. And the thing that I always thought was funny is when you look at these, the guys' nicknames, these guys had, you could tell, and no offense to the Metal Canuck or the Wizard of the North, our friends from Canada, but these are the dumbest nicknames you've ever heard in your entire life. And I apologize to our Canadian friends already, but one guy's nickname was Away.
Like, Away or Away?
Away. That's the dumbest fucking nickname. Who gave him that nickname? Right?
The Metal Canuck.
It probably was Jesse. Jesse said, I'm totally giving you this nickname, eh? He's like, I'm a boot to give you this nickname, eh?
Boots.
But one thing about this that I was totally thinking that Nez would be into, that there are two versions of this album that exist.
You got them both?
I don't have either.
Oh, Nez probably has
The original version contained an intro track and then The Unknown Knows as one track. Then they separated them in the second pressing of this album. And I figured Nez would be like, well, yes, I've got the Botswanian release of the first album, and it's all in
Pig Latin.
It's all in Pig Latin, and then it comes to you in wrapped in Ghanaian textiles, and the CD is made from broken dreams. But that's how it came. You know, what am I supposed to do? I'm a collector. But so I thought that was very interesting. I don't remember what it was specifically, which version that my brother Big J Wilkins had. But the cool thing about this was, and I was telling my girlfriend Rachel about this, we had a strobe light that you could actually turn up and down so you could time it. So the intro to Astronomy Domini, we would time it with the strobe light. So when you listen to it, the strobe was at the same time as the beat of the song. And it was so fucking cool. Because we would be a little high
I was gonna say
at the time.
I was like, is this right around the time you discovered some acid or something?
Oh, acid shit. Discovered hell. We used to live on that stuff. It was like frosted mini wheats to us. But so yeah, but that was the time when we would sit there and we would be tripping balls, and we would turn this thing so that we would get it. We would do it like we would start like 3 or 4 times. It would take us to get it synced up properly. But then you would do that, and it was like, you know, you were in some other dimension. It was a great album. And that's what I have to... I mean, Voivod, if you're a fan of the band Voivod, that is one of the things that you can say. These guys are from another dimension. They are not from Canada. They're not from the rock and roll genre. It's something that's out there, you know. And if you listen to this album, because I was listening to it this morning on the way to work and then on the way home, I had it on YouTube. I actually went to buy the album, and it's very hard to find, and it's very expensive.
Ooh.
So
I'll do some research for you.
right on.
Discogs, that's where you go.
I looked on there. It's still
Really?
kind of expensive.
Really?
So expensive.
But I want the vinyl. That's why. But
Oh.
so that's my pick, and that's why. It you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I try to. I don't. I'm not one of those guys that is going to come on here and be like, oh, well, I've got the rarest, coolest thing you've ever heard, because, you know, who gives a fuck, really, honestly. But
I like the rarest.
okay, that's the Nez part of this. Every album that I'm going to pick is something that has had a point in my life, and it's meant something at that point in my life. And so my picks are I pick them for that reason. And this is one of those albums. This was one of those things where it opened up doors. You look at Voivod and you're like, okay, these guys never had huge commercial success.
Never.
I mean, and it's a goddamn shame, because my God, this specific album is awesome.
Well, I think a lot of the metalheads at the time and the hair metalheads.
Oh yeah, fine. We're going to talk about
We'll do
that.
this
still.
at the end.
Calm down.
But
calm down.
they really, they were one of
I'm
those.
fired up
They were
about
one of
that.
those metal bands that they didn't know how to classify them. It was like similar to like what Celtic Frost was.
Right,
People
exactly.
did not know what to classify Celtic Frost as. I think Voivod had the same type.
They
of
were
issue.
exactly the same thing. Because if you listen to, I mean, Dimension Hatras was another one of their albums. Another one that we listened to a lot. If you listen to these albums, you're like, okay, this is not thrash.
No.
It's not punk metal. It's not death metal. It's not dark metal. It's none of these. What is it? Well, it's Voivod. I mean, and that's what it is essentially. It's just the lead singer, his name was Snake, I think, and the one guy's nickname was Piggy.
Piggy's dead, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Piggy recently died. Like within
Cancer,
last,
correct?
Yeah, within like the last 5 years.
And I would like to go on the record as saying fuck cancer, because it's a goddamn shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah,
What country did they originate from?
Canada.
They were a Canadian band.
Yes, they
Okay,
were
but they were the
French-Canadian.
French province of it.
French
correct?
Canadian,
Yeah.
yes. And the cool thing was, that was another thing that I if you listen to when they sing, their accents come through
Big
time in the vocals, and it's cool. That was one of the things that I really kind of dug about the band in their music and their lyrics, and when they were singing them, you know, you listen to them and you're like, oh man, this is kind of cool, because it was nothing like Metallica or Iron Maiden, or it sure the hell wasn't like any of that, you know, Sunset Strip shit that was going on at the time. It was different, and I think these guys deserved better than they got, because
I for the longest time I thought they were one of the French metal bands, one of the metal bands that came from France.
Yeah,
I really did.
they're French Canadian, pretty close, but
French Canadians. Well, I'm excited to give this one a listen.
please do.
and,
Start with Astronomy Domini.
Okay.
Every album they came out with was solid.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
one. I mean, and it's just, and they're all just, it's like they gave no shits to any kind of convention. They're like, I don't care if you were supposed to have, because they were one of the bands that had 4, 5, 6 different time signatures in one song. They would go through and they would, they would be playing, on the 1s and 3s, and all of a sudden they would switch it up, and you would have these staccato rhythms, and they'd be on the 2s and 4s, and you wouldn't see it coming. And in the middle of a song, they would switch it, and then they would switch it right back.
Did it fuse?
And it fused perfectly.
Okay.
It was, it was
Almost like prog punk
They
metal.
they were like they had very fusion-esque.
Mm-hmm. It was like if somebody took a fusion jazz band and gave them like massive amounts of methamphetamine and then set them loose.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's
Honestly,
kind of like what
perfect.
Alex Skolnick does for Testament because
Yeah.
he's a jazz guitarist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very, very spot on.
Yeah.
Odd, but very spot on. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
Voivod it's one of the things. I was so excited. I found this. I've been looking to download the Astronomy Domini for so long, and then all I could find was the live version, and I don't like live music. I won't download live music, and so I finally found it, and I was ecstatic the other night. Rachel and I were, and I finally downloaded it. And I was like, oh my god, I got this song. You gotta listen to it. And bless her heart, she actually she actually sits through all my crazy shit that I throw out there. So she's pretty awesome that way. But it was one of those things that I was looking forward to because it's like what Nez does with all these. I give you a hard time with the stuff that you collect, but it's awesome that you do that because it's preserving these small little pieces of your youth.
Well, I just think it's like it goes back to the way where we talk about the library forgotten rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a lot of the things that we talk about, or things that maybe like in my collection that I own, and I own like the Scandinavian
Right.
version of an album or whatever. But man, a lot of that stuff is in landfills now and things like that. And,
Right,
and-
or luckily if you can find it at a yard sale or something like that. I mean,
I get such a high from doing that too. Like,
Finding good albums.
yeah, like good, like even yesterday, or when I was at Goodwill yesterday, I found the maxi single for Everybody Hurts by REM.
yeah.
I see. I love singles. I'm like, oh sweet.
I found the coolest original poster from the Glastonbury Fair of 1971. I found that at a yard sale.
Really?
Yeah, for $5.
Please tell me you framed it and have it up.
It's getting framed.
Okay, good.
But I bought it for $5.
That's gotta be. Have you looked it up?
I haven't looked it up, but it has the people that it was Traffic and another band, and then a folk artist named Melanie, who is important to Rachel, my girlfriend. So that's why one of the reasons I was like, holy shit, look at that!
That's
I
awesome.
walked past it twice and didn't look at it 2 times, and then I went back again. I was like, oh yeah, that's badass. And I also bought Guilty by Barbra Streisand with Barry Gibb. I bought that.
Oh, yeah.
I bought that at the Goodwill.
Yep.
The vinyl was perfect.
I was gonna say what vinyl.
Yeah, I bought it on vinyl and it was perfect. So
Yeah, and you can get a fresh copy of that. It's pretty collectible because Barry Gibb wrote every song on that.
Mm-hmm.
Every song.
yeah,
And did backing vocals for
he duetted on 2 of them.
Yep.
Was given duet credits on 2 of the songs on the album, but wrote every one of those songs.
Yep.
Hey, that sounds
So-
like a Turntable Tuesday.
Hey,
There
you
you
know,
go.
it was in heavy rotation back in the
Back in the day, Guilty was-
late 70s or very early
Very early 90s, yeah, or 80s rather.
80s,
I'm sorry.
yeah, extremely early, like
Yes.
1980, 81 maybe at the most.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Guilty was the big shit on that. so.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, like I said, Turntable Tuesdays. Make sure you guys don't forget to check out Ribco every Tuesday night for Turntable Tuesdays. You get to take your own vinyl and play it, spin it for 20 minutes.
2 turntables and no microphone.
That's
I don't
bullshit.
bring spaghetti instant now just to piss people off.
Shut up.
You would.
I'm bringing my microphone then.
There you go. Yeah. So make sure you guys check that out on Tuesdays, every Tuesday night. So
That's how I found out about all those punk bands. Though.
that's
Really, seriously, that's was like 9 or 10. I was like, who the
Or-
hell's the Damned?
Or
I want to find out these guys.
or you just go sit and talk to Thompson for an evening,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you'll know about every punk band that's ever came through the East Coast.
That's the cool thing about Thompson. He introduced me to one band, and I found my way around after that. So
Yep.
He also is a very big supporter of Linkin Park.
Yeah, that's. What I, was
I think
saying.
that was the topic.
That
It
was
was a
the
guilty
post.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure post or something like that. Ricky Martin, yeah.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, Nez, what do we got after we plug this?
Well, this is the segue to, or Yes was the segue, or GTR was the segue to Yes, whatever. But GTR was the album I picked, and because Steve Howe, the original guitar player from Yes, if you can remember, he left Yes to form Asia. If you guys remember Asia, okay, that was considered a super group at the time. Then he left Asia to form a band. Well, it was an idea to have two lead guitarists in a progressive rock band, and he and the manager from Yes, I can't remember, Brian Lane, I believe his name was, the former manager of Yes, decided to make another supergroup, and Steve Howe wanted to bring in Steve Hackett from Genesis, the Genesis of Peter Gabriel Genesis, okay, and Steve Hackett at the time had already left Genesis for a while and embarked on a solo career, acoustic solo career, and his time as a solo artist acoustically failed miserably. So Steve Howe approached Steve Hackett into this project. He jumped on board because he needed the money, because his solo project wasn't doing anything. So as the story goes, they had to fill out the rest of the band, and they brought in Jonathan Mover from Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Alice Cooper, and he was also one of the original members of Marillion on drums.
Nice.
So they very progressive, you know. They brought in Phil Spalding, who was a session bass player for many different acts, and after the GTR thing was over with, he went back to being a session musician, and that's what he did the rest of his career. And they brought in a little unknown singer. His name was Max Bacon, who came in to do the vocals for GTR. And if you guys have never heard GTR before, Max Bacon's vocals are very tenor-like. There's no bass to his.
Like Miles Kennedy.
I would give you that would probably work pretty well as a comparison if you want. Not as whiny as that, but
bitchy as Geddy Lee.
Not as bitchy as the big nose.
But the interesting thing about this was Steve Hackett was not on board with the direction of the music that Steve Howe wanted to take the band to, but he needed a paycheck. Little bit after they recorded this album, and if you've never heard this album, I suggest you guys listen to it. I know if this doesn't make sense to you guys or not. It's very treble-like, but the bass is very distinctive. Does that make sense to you or not? You can hear the bass just fine, but the studio recording of the album is very treble-like, and it was very guitar. They focused on the guitars were up at the forefront, and the percussion and the bass are way in the back. You know. Yeah. And so that being said, Steve Hackett not being a fan of this format, he was very critical of the album when it came out, and his destructive comments to the press and to the album itself was basically the end-all of GTR. He pretty much sabotaged his own band. He looked at GTR as that album to fund his solo career after this album, and they were going to try to make a second album. It didn't work. So in essence, all Steve Hackett's selfish ways and his critique and criticism of the album destroyed the band after the album came out. They did a U.S. tour, very small. They actually did a King Biscuit Flower Hour recordings on the radio. But basically, his destructive behavior behind the scenes of the band destroyed what GTR was, what they tried to form. A guy by the name of J.D. Considine, he was a famous reviewer in magazine periodicals, I think maybe Rolling Stone or something, and he destroyed that album on a review. And he was considered like the guru of album reviews. And his destruction of the album actually helped album sales go up. even
Really?
though the one after they were a one and done off album. So that's some tidbits of information on that. I found it to be an interesting read about the history of the band. After the GTR experience, the album and the band then fell apart, Steve Howe then left to join Anderson, Buford, Wakeman Howe. And so that's how that all came about. So, yeah.
Very cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of maybe hard to discuss this if nobody else has ever heard it before.
Right.
But it was a super group, and it was a failed super group. They were from 85 to 87.
That's
And
quick.
so it was a quickie. And that was
Yeah,
it.
that doesn't take long.
Nope, it doesn't.
Interesting. Again, forgotten rock and roll, and that's what we kind of like to talk about here at the Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders page. So make sure you guys go like that.
Okay, so before we go, didn't you have something you wanted to say?
No, I was
Oh, there
getting
was-
to that.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
getting
you
to
gonna
that.
listen
I
to me
was
rant for like 2 seconds?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. So, I actually got an argument with the guy on the page, like at
Was it J. Crispy?
no, it was like at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Gillespie?
Oh,
What
yeah.
was-
Garth Conan,
Yeah.
the Barbarian.
Sure. No, we were.
Kind of a cool name though.
Yeah, it actually is. Where's he from?
He's a U.S. citizen.
Oh, is he?
I was hoping he was like Norwegian or something.
Yeah, no. No, so there's
I asked
talking
him one
about
time if he knew the riddle of steel, and he didn't. So.
we're.
I'm serious. He didn't know.
No, so the term hair bands, because it's kind of almost insulting in a way. Let me.
And then
finish.
I'm gonna interject with that.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, no, because we picked apart some of these that Sunday. We went down. We were on the way to Davenport.
Yeah.
Okay. We're trying to figure out why some bands from the 80s didn't really make it. Even though they were, like, Great White being one of them. Like
They had better success than some of them that came out.
They did, but they definitely weren't. Sure as hell wasn't a hair band. They were more of a blues.
I'm sorry.
They got
Mark
pigeonholed.
Kendall had his hair spiked to the fucking gills. I mean,
But it's okay. But it's
when you take your hair and you poof it out to fucking hell won't have it, you're a goddamn hair metal band. I'm sorry.
so
You
so
can play-
so so
because-
so so is it when the hair's like this? That is a hair metal band.
Yeah. When Axl Rose in the Welcome to the Jungle video
The one
spiked his
video-
hair out to fucking hell wouldn't have it,
So after that, they're considered a hair band.
in my mind, yeah.
So is Kansas considered a hair man?
No. With his front.
No.
Yeah,
No.
crazy.
Buzz Osborne from Melvins.
That's different.
That's an
I
How?
know it
That's
is.
an afro.
How?
He's got a buzz fro. It's different.
Bro.
It's different.
No,
he
no,
doesn't
see-
sit there. He doesn't sit there like a bitch in front of a mirror doing his hair out. The hell wouldn't have it.
Maybe he does.
Actually, he probably never touches his hair.
He probably never does a
Probably
damn
does
thing
that.
to it. When you
Okay.
there is a formula.
Okay, all right.
There is a
enlighten me on the
scientific formula.
Okay. Is
One-
it just Aquanet?
No, one is Aquanet. Two is the Sunset Strip.
Okay.
Faster Pussycat was not hair metal.
They
were
they had the image of it when that first album. Tommy Down had big ass hair.
Woo,
Hold on.
ring the fucking bell.
Okay,
This
hold
nigga
on.
don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, I
They
do.
were hair metal big as hell.
There's
How
a-
can you say that Faster Pussycat wasn't hair metal?
It's because
They played in the Cat House.
it was his club. Of course, they played there.
And Ricky Rackman
He
was
had-
was the guy from the Cat House.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that motherfucking hair? Whoop plow. Hair metal.
Hey,
Okay.
let me interject on something
Okay.
here. Well, how do you want them to be known as? Do you want them to be known as? Hold on, let me just say this.
No, go ahead. Talk.
Do you want them to be known as a hair? At least they'll have the name metal in it somewhere. Or do you want to be known as pop rock? Because that's what it was.
I think it's more glam. Like those bands that are
What's the difference between hair metal and glam?
It's the same thing.
Tesla. Tesla's considered a hair band. They're sure to fuck weren't glam. Right?
I don't even know what you want to call Tesla. I mean, they grew up in the hair time.
Yeah, but they're in with the hair bands. If you watch like any kind of hair video block hour, Tesla's in there.
Well, because you also have a lot of people that don't. Tesla they came out during that time, so they got pigeonholed there.
Right.
I'm not calling.
I think
never said
Tesla is probably one of the exceptions to that rule because they were pigeonholed because of the music that they made in the 80s.
I said no pigeons. I'm saying.
But every other band from that time period, I'm sorry.
Steelheart, hairband.
Still,
Oh, yeah.
hairband,
Hairband.
Tora, hairband,
Well-
Dangerous Toys, hairband.
Well, Warren, because Warren had
Warrant, hairband.
The
Skid
Aquanet.
Row,
Skid Row,
Skid Row.
hairband.
no Skid Row.
Shut your ass.
No.
Are you serious?
No,
Shut up.
they were not. No, they
Oh,
were.
come on.
No.
Ring the fucking bell.
No.
You are
No.
so fucking wrong.
I am not.
You're like 12 years old. How are you going to argue with me? I was fucking there.
What-
They were a hair metal
What
band.
hair band opened up for fucking
Why-
Pantera?
Okay, but why? I don't understand.
How many times? Okay. If
Why
you look
is
at that,
hairband? Why is that label? disrespectful?
Metallica opened up for Ozzy Osbourne.
So
At that time period, Ozzy Osbourne was hair metal.
Yes,
he had
Ultimate
fucking
Sin. He
Ultimate
had-
Sin. His hair was fucking out
he
of
always
here.
had a big hair like that.
He
No,
did
he did not.
No, he
When he
didn't.
played for smack you in your fucking mouth. You
I
said,
thought you were for a second.
talk about fucking
And
Black
then
Sabbath.
remember, then he shaved his head for the Bark at the Moon shit.
Yes.
His hair was as short as mine.
Then
Ring the fucking bell.
ring
Suits
that
on.
fucking bell.
But I don't understand why is
No, no,
you're sounding like Eddie Trunk
No,
because
no. Well,
Oh, it was amazing.
you are. You're sounding like because you're like, don't call hair metal bands hair because
Well,
it's very disrespectful. Why?
no.
Why is that disrespectful?
No, it is exactly what it was.
no, because
It doesn't mean they're a bad band.
No, it's just I think it's stupid classification because everybody had long hair then. Everybody had long hair.
No, it's not about having long hair. Because there were bands that
They
had
call
that time.
Aquanet bands.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Would
Let
you
me
want to
ask-
be called Aquanet? Aquanet?
Yes,
Then?
fine.
Let me ask you this.
It
But
doesn't matter. It
what
doesn't matter if
about
the
what
music
about
is good.
Arena Rock? Doesn't that kind of
That
fill
was
in
Boston.
No, Arena Rock is a different thing.
Okay,
You're
I
looking
was
at
asking.
Foreigner and Boston and Kansas when they were
Yeah.
big back then.
with?
And
So that's Arena Rock, but nothing
yeah,
to do with hair
and
metal.
Skinner and these bands that came out, they were huge and they would fucking sell out of these huge places, okay? But I'm talking about these bands that's Rat and
I will not argue.
Quiet Riot and
I won't argue with that.
Dokken and all of these bands
Nah.
that
Winger.
started out at the Rainbow.
Winger definitely. Yeah, I won't.
But it doesn't mean. Here's the thing.
No,
is
no,
like,
I'm not saying like they're, but like I.
You're taking it as an insult.
No,
Yeah,
not,
you can
but
Eddie
it's
Trunk
not.
thing.
but like I just I don't think you can classify
Yes, you can.
Tesla under the same category.
No, you can't. Tesla is an anomaly. We just discussed
Fine.
that. Tesla is an anomaly.
Then you can't
But
classify
all these-
Guns N' Roses with Poison.
Ring the fucking bell.
really,
You can't.
I don't
Yes, you
understand
can.
why this
How?
is even up
All
for
day
debate.
long you can.
They're completely different. Poison look like drag queens on their first album.
But that was
And on the
hair.
second.
That was hair.
But have you seen early
yeah.
fucking Guns N' Roses?
That one video is all you're gonna get
These
with
fucking
actual
guys looked
hair.
like they were all the fucking makeup and shit on their faces. They looked like they
Yeah.
were melting every time you saw them.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
D. Snyder.
But
Well, look, I'm not talking. Yeah, no. Yeah, fine.
why do you
But
take
Twisted
such offense
Sister
to it?
is pure fucking glam.
Yeah,
that's
they
a different,
are.
That's
Yeah,
a different
they're
thing.
all
But
glam.
why
They're
do you
not
and
all
Eddie Trunk
glam.
get all defensive about this?
No, I'm not like it's not that I'm getting defensive. I just
Yes, you are
Okay,
getting defensive about this.
Jake the Quake Trump.
shut the fuck up.
He's no longer spaghetti fingers. All right.
Jake the Quake Spaghetti Fingers Trump.
Well, let
Really?
me just-
There's
No,
no-
no,
it's not disrespect.
no, I'm not saying it's like that. I think it's shitty to pigeonhole some of those bands under that.
It
Category
doesn't mean
is
that
like-
they're shit.
No,
It's shitty to classify them under that though.
but it's not. It's not.
So
it's
then
not
when you
like
call
you're going-
Motorhead because Filthy had hair out to here, does that mean they're a hair metal band?
Well, no, but
Well,
Filthy
exactly
Phil-
my point.
doesn't mean that shit
Shut
though.
up.
Is
The difference is Motorhead has been playing since 1970
Exactly.
fucking 8 or 9.
But it doesn't matter what they were classified
Filthy
as.
Phil, his hair was like that in 70 whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's how he looked. It's like saying Buzzo is because his fucking he's got the buzz fro, that all of a sudden makes him hair metal. No, it doesn't.
Well, if somebody wants
if you
to
listen
call-
to that blues-based shit-ass fucking rock that these guys played,
But
at
I
the
think it's like,
time-
if somebody wants to call a band hair metal, who cares? Who cares?
hey,
You and your buddy Eddie are getting all
Oh, shut
upset
the
about it.
fuck up.
I know, man. Next thing you know, they're gonna be picking out drapes and shit.
Oh, really?
Quake.
Did you see that episode of that metal show? And Eddie Trunk got his like little editorial. Was like, please don't call these bands hair bands because they're not. It's disrespectful.
I didn't see it's
Why?
disrespectful.
You
Okay,
Shitty
A, he's got no fucking hair, and B, he's just because he's been around for 300 goddamn years and sucked the cocks of all these fucking rock stars, I'm supposed to think he's the authority? No, fuck you.
I don't know. Quake, I'll give you the last word on this, on your little hair metal rant, because don't worry about what they're going to say. I know.
No, yeah, we really could.
What do you got to close it out?
I think the bands that were not really like the big glam bands, yeah, I said glam, not hair, or ones that got...
It doesn't matter if you said hair or not.
Hey!
Hold on.
Because I know it's about ready to go off.
Hold on.
I'm the little teapot.
Just keep it.
I'm fucking waiting.
Just keep it. Hold on. Finish up. Quake.
Fuck, now I lost my thought. Damn it. No,
Just don't get it.
I think you did.
Who gives a shit what about a label? If the music is good and you like the music,
Well,
it doesn't
no,
matter what the label
I'm not
is.
saying that the label decides whether or not
We had
I
this
like
argument
it.
last night on the group. I said it doesn't matter what the label is. Doesn't matter how many cans of Aquanet they put on their hair. It doesn't matter. If the songs are kick ass, the songs are kick ass. Not everybody's gonna like them, but if they're kick ass to most, it doesn't matter how much Aquanet they put on their hair and then cracked open they drank afterward. And went through a piece of bread.
I drink right now.
Went through a piece of
You filtered it through a piece of bread. Phil.
Well, I think this is a good point to kind of plug the page, because we can continue this on the page, on the Quad City
finish?
Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders. You guys can jump on the page and join that discussion, because I'm sure it'll be popping tonight. I might just start a flame war just because I can. So,
Skid Row had big hair, though. That's all I want to know.
Didn't Rachel Bullen have big hair?
Yeah, and then fucking, what's his name? The
Snake Sabo.
Snake Sabo did.
Yeah.
He had like those floppy bangs that went in front of
It was
his
still
face.
big.
But they weren't big.
You seem to know a lot about currently. How you gonna tell us with your floppy bangs?
so
Dude, come on, really?
make sure you
Just
guys.
because he fucking Sebastian Bach uses a straightener in his goddamn hair, and he's like, "Look at me, ha!" And I don't give a
That
damn.
was a pretty good note.
That's not fucking badass. You ain't never seen nothing.
I straightened my hair once. It was terrible.
It's okay. But I'm just saying. Don't try to stop me either, Vic. Oh well, you're not playing me out. This isn't the Grammys. All I'm saying is it's not it's like what Nez was saying. It's not a kiss of death. But these guys were fucking hair metal bands. I'm sorry. All day long they were hair metal bands, and I won't fucking back off of that.
I just don't. Like Eddie Trunk was kind of treated like it was
cares
the
about
kid.
Eddie Trunk?
But no, but he was like, he was acting like it was the kiss of death, because they're not getting their respect. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
If it's good music, it's good music. It doesn't matter what the genre is.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, again, make sure you guys like the Quad
I
City
think we
Music
have a
Lovers,
segment like this at the end of every episode.
Collectors, and Traders.
All it makes
We
me
can
want to do is just punch that guy.
or punch Jake, maybe? Because
No,
you're getting pretty
no,
heated.
he hasn't
Oh,
got to that
come
point
on.
yet.
No, okay. There's a
Next
point.
week.
Next week when we talk about things.
I don't
Make
know,
sure you guys.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're over there kind of just trembling when you say. Make sure you guys check out the Pool Man, Mark Reedy, Ragged Records, Next Level Fitness. Check out our partners, Rock Island Brewing Company. Make sure you guys keep an eye on the calendar. Maybe they'll have us announce a show. Just keep tuned in. We'll get tickets for that.
keep an eye on the skies. You never know.
Yes, exactly. Make sure Skynet doesn't get your stuff. Which
You come see us in the next 12 weeks.
yeah, our schedule is up. I think next week's is Icons, right?
Icons, yes.
Icons.
I thought we're going to the pool next week.
No,
That's the week after.
that's the week after that. Yeah.
Icons Martini Bar in downtown Rock Island, right down the street here. So come join us. We had a couple people. Adam, right?
Yeah.
Adam and Rachel showed up for us.
And Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. We'll give you guys a shout out on the link in the show. But
And we
thanks
got
for
people,
coming
our
out.
fans out in the hallway. Yay! In the hallway.
They have no clue. But anyways, really quick before so Nez doesn't get on me about homework. Nez just yes. We gotta post that later.
Go get a loaf of bread.
Send me that picture. Send me that picture.
Cheap night.
So Nez won't get on me about my homework. I did want to kind of mention to you guys that for the next month of August and through September, I will be specifically focusing on bands that will be at Riot Fest. So that's for me.
Oh,
So I'll
cool.
bring something of one of the bands that I'll be checking out while I'm up there, there's lots of bands. So it may be Tragic Kingdom next week. Who knows? I don't know because No Doubt's playing.
That'd be awesome.
Motorhead's playing, so we'll see. Hey, maybe it will be Tragic Kingdom because great album.
Yeah, great album to talk about.
But
hey,
yeah.
Speaking of that, real quick, did you guys see that Crystal Method Modest Yahoo?
Yeah.
I told you that was killer combination.
It was
That was a little homage to Victor.
Yeah, it was.
People didn't know who Modest Yahoo was yet.
That was awesome. So,
dude,
yeah.
Well, there's just a lot of our listeners because they're just metalheads.
Yeah. But check it out.
Life than metal, kids.
That's right. So check out our pages. Make sure you give them likes. We went up like 16 likes this week. So
yeah, because I said if we go up 100 likes, I'll send out a goodie bag.
Yeah,
we got 16. I was like, all right.
So we're like this last episode, we were up to 30 a couple days ago. It was only posted for a day. We're up to 30 views. Do you guys have any idea what the views were for episode 16?
I don't know. I mean, people just sharing it and stuff. Maybe Albert was sharing it. So
yeah, I mean that's
I put it on
we're talking about this while we're under, but like that's the thing. If you guys like you're talking about like the post, like why is this one only getting like 12 views and the next one's getting like 30 views?
Yeah.
Share it, like bump it on your personal page. Like just hit share and then it.
Well, that's
goes
what
up.
I always do.
Or you share it to any groups that you're in besides the music lovers. Because I'm a part of like Metal University and Rocky Mountain Punk and all those different groups, and I keep on posting up there. And there was like a collectors and vinyls group, and a guy I posted on there, and he came back and goes, "This is not a podcast group." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to be part of your group anymore."
Dude.
I'm gone.
Well, how about you suck a dick, Jack?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm on an autograph thing. Anyway, so thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for every view, listen, and whatnot.
Do you and Jack Russell have the same pair of shoes?
Maybe. Oh, I was glad you brought that up because I was jealous that you guys are wearing Chucks together. Dude. I'm going to wear my Chucks next week. So, anyways, Nez, you got any parting words for us tonight?
Support your local establishments and venues. Rascals and Ribco in the Quad Cities.
Support local music as well.
Deer Stoop's trying to get in on the thing.
Actually, I just want to say.
And of course, support Rostox.
No, they have good food. I just ate some chicken wrap thing that. Ben?
When did you do that?
When I was waiting for you guys. I got here like at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we were
I was
here
like, what the when did you do
It was
that?
actually really good. He was like sitting there like being all delicate with it and like putting some spinach and stuff in there. Made with love.
TLC, man. So, thank you, Rostox, for hosting us. Exactly. Creep.
Yeah,
Anyways, thank you, Roz Talks. Oh, ouch, for hosting us. Thanks for you guys showing up, and make sure you guys like the page. See you.